guys. So I noticed that when I keep looking for perfect time to do my video, it takes ages to get that perfect timing. So this is another video for you guys to enjoy on a different background. Right? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's a girl blessed again. Today we're talking about wife market. Wife market on Ruth Kadiri 247 TV. If you've seen it, give me a yes in the comment section. If you haven't, you might want to watch it after now. But I'm gonna do justice to it. Okay? So wife market. I don't know about the name of wife market anyway, but it's a movie for women. All about women, talks about women, older women and young women, being a feminist and not being a feminist. You know, that division amongst the same women category. So we had a group of women in their 50s thereabout who formed the clique. They call themselves women of valor. So these women, they were out to control their homes, and controlling their homes to them means being in charge of the lives of everyone under their roof, everyone that came through them and shares the same family as them, including their sons and their daughters-in-law. So they wanted to just be in charge, to be in control. They wanted to be the ones to detect what happens. So, and you know, no woman wants to marry into a home where another woman is in charge. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't think there's any woman that wants to marry into a home where another woman is in charge. Even if the person is the mother of your husband, you wouldn't want her, that's your mother-in-law, to be in charge of your own home, because your home now is between you and your husband, right? I mean, everybody should have their own rights and duties spelled out to them. But in the case of this movie, those women of valor wanted to be in charge. They wanted to dictate even what their sons will eat, even when their sons are married. And it doesn't sit well with anybody. I don't think there's anybody watching me now that it sits well with. So some of them were successful with this ideology, you know. There's this particular woman who her son was really under her grip. She does everything she wants and the son doesn't complain. She practically turned her daughter-in-law into a house help. And her son did nothing about it. You know, it was that bad. I'll come back to this story. So back to my story. So that particular woman literally turned her daughter-in-law to a house help, and the girl was so helpless, you know, and her husband never stood up for her. The husband always stood at whatever my mom says stands, you know, things like that. So she was literally living as a shadow of herself. But then there comes this other woman who calls herself Shining Mother, Shining Mama Rita. So Mama Rita's son was about to get married as well, and you know, she was expecting a daughter-in-law who she can control, just as her friend does in her own home. But nope. This daughter-in-law to be wasn't that kind of girl. She wasn't the kind of girl that would let anyone ride with her. She was the type of girl that, you know, presents herself as a feminist, trying always teaching young ladies on social media not to let men walk all over them. You know, teaching the ladies to know their worth, to stand up for themselves. So you don't expect a lady who is teaching other ladies to stand up for themselves to be the lady that will let her own fellow woman, even though older, to walk all over her. She wasn't gonna take it. Not even a pinch of it. She wasn't gonna tolerate that act. So it all started. The problem started when she, now this daughter-in-law to be, oh, what's her name? I'll give her a name. Her name should be, let's call her Laura. That's not her name in the movie. I forgot what her name in the movie was. So Laura was heading to Lagos to meet her boyfriend because they were supposed to travel for the boyfriend's father's memorial service. So back to my story. This lady, Laura, on the day she was coming to Lagos to meet her boyfriend for the memorial service, the mother-in-law to be, Shandy Mama Rita, decided to follow her son to come and pick Laura from the airport. Anyway, that's not a problem. But then Laura came and greeted the woman. And the woman was like, why can't she kneel down and greet her? And the girl was like, huh? Kneel down. You know, the woman just started, this girl is not good for you. You won't marry her. How would you want to marry a girl that cannot kneel down and greet your mother? So Laura felt offended and then she walked out.
Stop it.
So her boyfriend got angry. So the boyfriend, you know, got angry and went home, of course, with his mom. And then when he got home, he was asking his mom that since when did they start kneeling down to greet her? Like, why was she demanding for the girlfriend to kneel down and greet her at the airport? The one was like, is it a bad thing? Is it a crime? Why can't she kneel down and greet me? Blah, 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 blah. That was like, I don't get it. I don't expect you to behave like that. Was that why you tried to follow me? On the other hand, Laura was mad at her boyfriend where she was. Like, why would he bring his mom to pick up from the airport? On top of that, the mom was even demanding for her to kneel down in the airport, in the public space. Like, if she wanted that preferential treatment, she would have waited in her house so that she would come there and serve her like the queen that she wants. But demanding that from her in public was unacceptable in her own opinion. You know, she was just, angry about that, and her friend was telling her to just calm down. You know, some things you just have to let go, don't let it get to you. So her boyfriend called her and they made up. He eventually invited her to the house, and she's like, she's not coming because it's obvious the mom doesn't like her. For the mom to display what she did at the airport, it means she's not welcomed, that she doesn't want to come to the house. But the guy insisted and said no, the mom, she has to come around for them to actually get along. That she can't use one what's the word, one meeting, one incident to judge. So this girl Laura came by the house and was with her boyfriend though. You know, when she just came to the house and then they hugged, and while they were hugging, she touched her boyfriend. That is not even her fiance. She touched his head. And then his mom fled up from wherever she came from and started scolding her. Now, why on earth? Who do you think you are to touch my son's head? Who taught you that you can touch a man's head? Is he your boy? Is he your house help? Is he your this? Is he your that? Why would you touch his head? The person that touched his head is not complaining, but his mother is complaining. Ah, it became a problem. She was really, shouting and making a fuss, and that was another fight. Yeah. And this girl said, "Is this how this whole thing will be?" Because first one is they don't need that to greet you. Now is they are touching your boyfriend's head, they are touching your son's head, so she left. And then they finally traveled for the memorial service. Shining Mama Rita invited her friends over. They all agreed they were going to travel by air and they must use first class according to their leader. So, long story short, they all got to Port Harcourt, where Mama Rita is from. That was where the memorial service was going to hold. So when they got there, Mama Rita decided that of all the rooms in the hotel where they booked for guests, she wanted the particular room that her son's fiancé is staying in. Like the woman, they look for trouble. She likes trouble. She went to tell Laura to leave the room, and Laura was like, "No, I'm not going to do that. I came here first, and I've chosen this room. You can't ask me to leave. There are so many other rooms available. You can take any of those ones, not this one." So she refused to leave. Marita counted it for her. When her friends arrived, she went to call this Laura again to come and serve her friends. And Laura is like, "Why should I serve your friends when we are in a hotel? If we were at home, I would have understood because we are at home, and obviously at home, yes." So the girl said, if we were at home, we understand them because we are at home. I should do the chores at home, yeah, because right, this is my mother-in-law to be. I should be able to serve her friends at home since because we are at home. But this is a hotel. The hotel has waiters, has waitresses. Why would you leave them and ask me to come and serve your friends? Now, she also asked her to go and clean one of the friends' room. And she's like, "I'm not a cleaner. I don't work in this hotel, ma. I don't work here. They have cleaners in this hotel. They have waiters. They have, waitress. They have, what do you call them? What's the word for them? Something service, right? If you guys need any of those services, just use the phone in the room. Call them. They will attend to you. We've paid for all these things. We're in a hotel." But Marita said this, it's the time not to be she wants to serve. And the girl refused. She wasn't going to do that. She's not going to do it. So even her friend, the Laura's friend, started telling Laura, no, just go and do it." And she said, "No. If I start now, I won't end. It won't end. I can't do it. Why would she be asking me to go and do that when we have people that are paid to do the job?" So she didn't go to do it. Then eventually, that night, they were having a gathering. Before that gathering, Mama Rita approached this Laura's friend because she has seen that one is always telling Laura, "Calm down, let us do what your mother-in-law says." So she's feeling like, "Oh, this one is a good girl. This is the kind of girl I'm going to control. I prefer her." So she approached Laura's friend and told her that wouldn't she like to marry her son? That she can make her son change his mind and decide to marry her. And the friend said, "Madam, unfortunately, it's not me that your son wants to marry. Your son wants to marry my best friend. I cannot come here for my best friend's fiance's father's memorial service, and now get her, replace her to become the fiance's fiance. This English self. But the girl refused, and I was so proud of her. She refused the offer. She wasn't going to betray her best friend just because his the mother-in-law to be wants her to marry the son. So she refused. So when she went to her friend, she didn't tell her friend about that. See, another thing, another aspect I like, she didn't tell her friend what the mother-in-law did. Rather, she told the friend that the mother-in-law wanted to see her. So when the mother-in-law said she wanted to introduce her to her friend. So when the girl went, the mother-in-law introduced this Laura girl to her friends as the thing, as the thing that her son wants to marry, not as the lady or not as the girl, but as the thing that her husband wants to marry. And Laura did not react. They looked at her like, what did she do? She said, oh, are you talking about me? Okay, because if people said it's a thing they are introducing, I'm waiting for the thing to appear because me, I'm not a thing. And these women got offended. Like, who do you think you are? Why on earth would you think you can say that? Blah, 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 blah. And then Mama Rita in her glory, because she didn't want to feel like she doesn't have control. Remember, their goal is to have control over everything around them. Because she didn't want to feel like she didn't have control, she poured her glass of wine on the girl. The girl said, if it was another case, I would have let this slide. But you see, in this case, in this thing you guys just did, I won't let it slide. It is aura for aura. So she took another glass of wine and poured it on Marita. Hey, heaven let loose. How many of you can pour wine on your mother-in-law or your mother-in-law to be? So she poured the wine on Mama Rita. Hey, the girl get mind though. She get mind. Even her sister that is someone head was shocked. Like, they never marry you, Mama. Damn, they never marry you. They pour wine on top person, mother. So, but anyway, she did what she did, and she told the woman, it's aura for aura. Any energy you give me, I'm serving it to you right back. I won't take it. And the friends all busted out. They were shouting and all that, and the girl walked out. Unknowing to her, someone captured the moment when she poured that drink back on the woman, and the posted. Remember, she's a social media personality, so they posted it online. So there and then, Marita called her son, obviously, and told her son that the girl you want to marry poured wine on me. But she didn't say the part where she poured the wine first or what led to her pouring the wine. She just said, this girl you want to marry, pour wine on me, because I called her to introduce her to my friends. And the girl came back, called the girlfriend, and asked what happened. And the girl said, I asked the girl, why would you pour wine on my mom? And the girl said she poured the wine first. She called me here, introduced me as a teen, and I said I was waiting for the teen. Right? And then, okay, no, she made a statement. Because when all the women were challenging her, the girl now said, I didn't know that you guys were doing promo. The girl, she has, I was what? When I say she's also sarcastic in a way. Because she just said to them, I didn't know you guys ran promo, marry one son and get 100 mother-in-laws, and that was what got Marita pissed that made her pour her that wine. So Marita, when the girl said, your mother poured the wine on me first, the boy asked mom, is it true? And then the mom said, of course. She said she didn't know that we were running promo, that you marry one and get 10 mother-in-laws and 100 mother-in-laws. So that pissed her, she poured wine on her. So the boy would now turn to the friend and said, why would you pour wine on her? You would have waited for me. Why didn't you wait to tell me what happened before retaliating? Must you retaliate? Must you have to disrespect her that way? Which I feel In all sincerity, that's the right thing. If I was the girl, I wouldn't have, and I wouldn't advise anybody to do that to your mother-in-law or mother-in-law to be. In short, anyone older than you, right? Pouring that wine back on her, I feel was extreme. She would have just walked out. Yeah, people might say walking out is disrespectful too, but for me, it is better to walk out on that conversation than pouring wine back at the woman, right? So then, in the heat of the argument, the both of them said in short they're not marrying again. Oh, what the women wanted to hear. Yes, baby. So they said they're not marrying again, and then they all went to their different rooms. Where the girl was her friend and her younger sister were there, so they were telling her that she overreacted though, she wouldn't have gone that far, And she was like, didn't you see that she did it first? She did that, she did that, she did that. So you're trying to tell her sometimes you have to let go. Some things you have to let go. It's not everything that you react to, sincerely. I liked her friend and her sister. Okay? I liked the aspect they're trying to tell the girl, yes, you might think you're right, but sometimes being right doesn't solve the problem. And then what makes you think you can just why do you think you just walk out of the relationship because of that situation? Do you understand? Like, I mean, the guy has every right to be angry. He disrespected his mom in front of her friends. And then he wasn't even biased. He did not go supporting his mom over you. He stood on the truth, which is you should have respected the mom. The mom should have respected you, because if you're telling the mom, you want to be asking the mom whether it's true that she poured wine first. Someone that wants to support the mom will not even ask you who poured first. Is why did you pour? And even would have even maybe giving you booze or bars. So that's that the guy is a very good guy. So she should never want to just lose him because of this argument. She look for a way and apologize to the guy because he actually disrespected him. So they were still discussing that before the girl realized that social media handle was on fire because people were bashing her due to that video that had gone out. People were bashing her, insulting her, saying you're teaching one thing, you're doing another, all those things. So she felt really bad. Little did they know that there was gonna be a twist in the whole game. So it happened that the women leader, the particular one that is gingering these women of valor, telling them to do this with their daughters-in-law, do this to anybody in their house, do this to their son, that one did not even have even chicken like this, chicken control in her own home. She didn't have it. Her daughter-in-law talks to her the way she wants to talk to her. Her daughter-in-law is the one in charge. Her son too is also in charge in his own way. Right? They don't even give her space. So I think the ideas in her head is what is pushing to those women. Things that she thought she would have loved to do, but she's not able to do. She's pushing to the women and telling them to do. She told them that they should make sure they use first class because they deserve it. Then the son does not agree. They should not agree. They should insist. But do you know that this woman, even the economy self, she did not see. She came to Lagos by night bus. No, to Port Harcourt, I mean. By night bus. Because they never see money to buy day ticket bus. They did not give her money to even buy day ticket bus. It's night bus money they give her. It shock you, ba? It shock you. It shocked me too. So, this President General of Women of Valor in that night bus sat with this Laura's younger sister. So already they knew. Oh, they knew that she wasn't even what they think she is. But they did not plan to expose her. They did not plan to expose her until They now found out that she was the one that videoed Laura pouring that wine and posted it. Yes. So when they found out that she's the ringleader, insisting that the wedding will not hold, and that she was even the one that posted the video online, that's when they said this woman. So Laura was talking to one of her friends on the phone, trying to tell her that called obviously they've seen the video, like, babe, how far waiting happened? What happened? Why did this thing? And she just explained, that I'm not like that now. That the woman triggered me, blah blah, and they never post the parts where she was the one that was abusing me and poured drink. They just posted the parts when I retaliated, make it be fun, make it be saying and me find trouble. So that girl and I said, this woman, that's how they used to behave. Even my own mother-in-law, she tries to do this, but I don't need to give her space. Blah blah blah. She talk about her mother-in-law, and then she said, "Sure, let me even send you a video of my mother-in-law so that you see how me I used to handle her." Tell her the same video. The national, the same mother-in-law is the same president general of Women of Valor. That means everything she had preached to those women, she wasn't even doing. So that's when Laura now went to expose her. And when she exposed her, all the women knew that, hey, this man has been misleading them. But it didn't end there. She was she now she was still disturbed in her heart. She wanted to go and apologize to her mother-in-law because she has understood that, yeah, she shouldn't have reacted to everything, and that because she loves the fiance, she needs to find a way to strike a balance, you know. And knowing what she knows about the president of the Women of Valor, knowing that they've just been deceiving themselves, she needed to point out some truths to the mother-in-law, just so that they can, cohabit, live in peace. So she went to the mother-in-law's room to apologize, only for her to find the woman on the floor. She passed out, and she called the fiance to come and take the mom to hospital. The fiance now thought she went to the mom's room to strike up another argument, and that was what led to her passing out, because the mom has high blood pressure and refused to take her medication that day. With all this arguments, and also he felt the girl had gone to the room and triggered her again, and that's why she fell. So he blamed the girl for the predicament, and that was how they were like, that's it. Is this how he's going to treat me if anything happens when we get married? They're like, she's not even doing it again. Let her just pack her things and leave. So thankfully, the boy's mom woke up in the hospital by the time, and then asked the son how she got to the hospital, and he explained. The girl called. She was like, "Oh, serious, thank you." The where is she? Like, I don't know. Is she not the one that triggered you? And the woman said, "No, she didn't do anything to me. If she even called you to help, that means she's a good person. Please call her. I need to thank her." So that's how they realized that it wasn't the girl that triggered the mom. The mom had just passed out of accumulated stress. Not like the girl came again to trigger her. So the boy went after the friend, and he was told she was about leaving, going back to Abuja, and he went to the hotel where she lodged with her friend and sister to apologize to her, and they made peace. And then the girl went to the hospital to see his mom, and also apologized to the mom, and also made the mom understand that they needed to have a balance, that she's not snatching the son away from her. That she's coming into her son's life doesn't mean her son will stop being her son or stop loving her. She had nothing to worry about. Sincerely, they can live together and have peace. So after much discussion, they came to terms with themselves and agreed to live in peace. And that was the end of the story. So that made me ask again, why are women our problems? You see, we forget that we are all women. Like, I was just, while I was watching the movie, I was asking myself, these women that plan doing this to their daughters-in-law and doing all that, you know, did their own mother-in-law treat them like that? If their mother-in-law did, were they happy that she treated them like that. These are things people fail to think of when they are carrying out some, acts against their fellow women. You know, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, you can watch this movie and enjoy it. That is the end of my story. Thank you to Ruth Kadiri, 247, and our crew for bringing this wonderful story to us. You guys are doing great. Keep it up. And I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.